You have been told your entire life to be good, to be kind, to turn the other cheek. And where did that get you? Manipulated, overlooked, used. Being good without being strategic does not make you noble, it makes you a target. The world is not a fairy tale filled only with heroes and obvious villains. It is populated by sophisticated, strategic, emotionally intelligent people who will smile at your face while quietly dismantling everything you have built. Machiavelli warned us centuries ago, those who refuse to protect themselves will always become the prey of those who have no such hesitation. Innocence without armor is not a virtue. It is a vulnerability. Today, that changes. By the end of this video, you will possess 10 powerful psychological strategies that will make you untouchable, unreadable, and completely in control of every situation you face. This content is not for everyone. If you believe the world is purely fair and people always have good intentions, this channel is not your place. But if you already understand that kindness without strategy leads to suffering, then you are exactly where you need to be. Stay until the very end because the final tricks are the most powerful ones. And if this kind of psychological wisdom speaks to you, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single lesson. Psychological trick 1. Weak people reveal everything too soon. They share their plans, their pain, their insecurities, believing that vulnerability builds trust. It does not. It builds leverage for others to use against you. Machiavelli understood that information is currency, and whoever controls information controls power. The psychological mechanism here is called strategic ambiguity. When people cannot fully read you, they cannot fully manipulate you. Imagine sharing your career plans with a colleague only to watch them present your idea to your boss first. That is the cost of premature transparency. The lesson is devastating but necessary. Protect your inner world like a fortress. Let people earn your truth. Most never will. Psychological trick 2. Weak people react immediately. Someone insults them and they explode. Someone ignores them and they spiral. Emotional reactivity is the most dangerous weapon you can hand to your enemy. Machiavelli taught that a prince who cannot control himself cannot control anything else. The psychological concept here is emotional regulation as power. Your silence in moments of provocation communicates dominance without a single word. Picture someone publicly humiliating you in a meeting. Instead of reacting, you smile calmly and say nothing. You observe. That silence unsettles them far more than any argument could. The warning is clear: your emotions, unguarded, are a roadmap straight to your weaknesses. Guard them with your life. Psychological trick 3. Weak people forgive too quickly and too publicly. They announce their forgiveness like a performance, believing it makes them appear spiritually evolved. In reality, it signals to manipulators that there are no real consequences for crossing you. Machiavelli believed in strategic mercy, forgiveness given strategically, not universally. The psychological principle is operant conditioning. People repeat behaviors that face no punishment. If you forgive someone loudly and immediately, you train them to hurt you again. A real-life example: someone betrays your confidence and you publicly forgive them within days. They betray you again within months. The lesson: forgiveness is a private spiritual act, not a public announcement. Consequences, however, must be unmistakably clear. Psychological trick 4. Weak people always try to be liked by everyone. They shape-shift their opinions, suppress their boundaries, and exhaust themselves maintaining a false version of themselves for every room they enter. Machiavelli warned that a leader who tries to please everyone pleases no one and is respected by none. The psychological dynamic at play is called approval-seeking behavior, and it is psychologically corrosive to your sense of self. Consider a person who agrees with every opinion in the room, only to be dismissed as spineless by the very people they were trying to impress. The powerful lesson, being selectively liked is exponentially more valuable than being universally tolerated. Stand for something, even if it costs you an audience. Psychological trick 5. Weak people show desperation. They chase, over-explain, over-communicate, and constantly seek validation from those who hold power over them. This behavior psychologically transfers all your power directly into someone else's hands. Machiavelli understood scarcity as leverage. What is rare is valued. What is always available is taken for granted. The psychological principle is called the scarcity effect, and it governs human desire across every domain. Imagine you stop pursuing a person who has been taking you for granted. Within days, their behavior shifts entirely. Your absence created the pressure that your presence never could. The warning is stark. Desperation is repulsion wearing the mask of love. Become someone who can genuinely walk away and watch the dynamic transform. Psychological trick 6. Weak people expose their enemies publicly and dramatically. They make accusations, post on social media, and broadcast grievances expecting public sympathy and justice. What they receive instead is chaos, drama, and a reputation for instability. Machiavelli was precise about this. Neutralize threats quietly, strategically, and without unnecessary spectacle. The psychological mechanism is called reputational capital. Your composure during conflict communicates far more credibility than your accusations ever will. Consider someone who calmly distances themselves from a toxic colleague while quietly building alliances with key decision makers. No drama, no confrontation. The threat neutralizes itself. The lesson is sharp and irreversible. The battlefield of the sophisticated is invisible. Those who shout lose. Those who position win. Psychological trick 7. Weak people underestimate the power of observation. They are too busy talking, performing, and seeking attention to notice what is actually happening around them. Strategic people watch. They listen. They catalog. Machiavelli described this as knowing your terrain before the battle begins. You cannot navigate a battlefield you have never studied. The psychological concept is called environmental intelligence, and it is the foundation of every great strategic mind. Think of a person who quietly watches group dynamics in a new workplace before choosing their alliances. They say little for the first month, but when they finally speak, they speak with precision. The warning is permanent. The observer always defeats the performer. Silence is not weakness. It is reconnaissance. Psychological trick 8. Weak people believe loyalty is universal. They give their full loyalty freely and assume it is being equally returned. This belief is psychologically catastrophic in a world where most relationships are transactional by nature. Machiavelli was brutally honest. Loyalty must be earned, tested, and verified through consistent action over time. The psychological framework here is behavioral consistency. You judge a person not by their words in good times, but by their choices when loyalty becomes costly. Consider a friend who vanishes precisely when you need them most, but reappears when your success could benefit them. That is not friendship. That is strategy with a human face. The lesson: your loyalty is precious. Distribute it like gold, not sand. Psychological trick 9. Weak people collapse under pressure. When the stakes rise, they freeze, over-explain, or abandon their position entirely to avoid conflict. This collapse signals to everyone around them that pressure is the key to controlling them. Machiavelli taught that composure under fire is the ultimate display of inner strength. The psychological principle is called stress inoculation. Those who train themselves to function under pressure develop a psychological advantage that cannot be faked or imitated. Picture a negotiation where the other party applies silence and discomfort to pressure you into conceding first. If you hold your composure and say nothing, you win psychologically before a single term is agreed upon. The warning: those who cannot endure pressure will always be controlled by those who can. Psychological trick 10. Weak people believe time is against them. They rush decisions, rush trust, rush relationships, driven by anxiety and the fear of missing something. Strategic people understand that time is their most powerful weapon. Machiavelli wrote that patience is the ultimate strategic virtue. The ability to wait for the right moment separates the powerful from the merely ambitious. The psychological concept is delayed gratification combined with strategic timing, knowing not just what to do, but precisely when to do it. Think of a chess grandmaster who sacrifices a piece not in panic, but in perfect preparation for a move 12 steps ahead. The final lesson of this video: discipline your hunger. Master your timing. The right moment always arrives for those who are prepared to wait for it. Now I want you to stop for a moment and be honest with yourself. Comment below the words, "I protect my energy." Let that be your declaration today. Ask yourself, where in your life have you been too naive, too accommodating, too forgiving of people who never earned that grace? Type it in the comments. Claim it. Because acknowledging where you gave away your power is the very first step toward taking it back permanently. Real power is not about dominating others. It is not about manipulation for its own sake. True power is the unshakable commitment to never betray yourself again, to never hand your self-respect, your silence, your time, or your loyalty to those who have proven they do not deserve it. Machiavelli was not teaching cruelty. He was teaching survival. He was teaching clarity. And the Stoics agreed: protect your inner citadel fiercely, because nothing external can truly harm you unless you permit it entry. If this video changed the way you see yourself and the world around you, subscribe right now. Turn on notifications. Share this with someone who needs to hear this message today. Remember this always: the most powerful person in any room is the one who needs nothing from it.